Hello?
Hello? Is this thing on? This is like Facebook of this week. Like this thing on? Or that was a topical joke there, Jessica. How do you feel about that little topical joke?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's how it's starting out today, baby.
Okay.
It ain't gonna get much better than that. It's the jokes. Welcome to episode 50. 50. Kramer and Jess. Uncensored.
Buckle your seatbelt.
I remember what they said, Jess. I think it was written as the 11th commandment.
No one said anything.
It said, thou shalt not make it to episode number 50.
Nobody was even paying attention to us.
Well, that's not necessarily the 100% truth. Not based on a true story, but that's fine. Welcome to number 50, everybody. Glad to have you here. In case you don't know, you can also join us live as we do this show on YouTube. We do it about, we're a little late today, about 10:45, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, always good just to put on the notifications.
Yeah, give you a little pop-up.
Just because.
When we come on here, you can like interact live as we do the show. It's kind of a cool, different element that you don't get, obviously, from listening to the podcast. In case you've never listened to any of our other 49 episodes of the show, something you should probably know. It's not the radio show.
Very, very different.
How so, Jess?
One, explicit, so not for little ears if it's your first time here.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure they're not in the car, please. And it's just a more in-depth look into our life. So anything that we can't talk about on air, we basically just vent out here.
Yeah. So you have been warned, but welcome. Thanks and for those that have been here for 50 episodes now.
That's so cool.
That's really amazing. You know, we didn't know how this whole thing was going to go. Jess and I were just kind of like, well, you want to do a radio show together?
Let's do it.
And here we are, 50 episodes into the Uncensored podcast. So thank you for those that came over from our other radio station and still follow. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
We have a text from a girl, and you can always text us or call us anytime. We get a voicemail and text line, 855 Kramer Jess. How did she find us in the first place? I don't remember. She may have found us here. She did find us here. And then she went back and she listened to literally every episode of our previous radio station podcast.
No.
93 episodes of that podcast or something like that, right?
Really?
Listen to all of those from day one, and then came over here and listened to all 50 or 49 episodes of this one.
That's bizarre.
That's a lot.
Is the Garage Boy episode up there?
Oh yeah,
It is?
Oh yeah, it's all still up there.
I thought that got deleted.
They own you.
I thought that part got deleted.
Did they?
I thought.
From who? Ours or the old one?
The old one.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would it get deleted?
I mean, why would it be up?
It's the podcast is definitely still there.
Oh.
Which sucks. It sucks to me, man. It sucks to put hard work into something. 93 episodes.
You don't want it to be up?
I don't like that they're still making money off of me.
Okay. The old you, though?
I mean, it's what I did. You know, they paid me to produce stuff, and I did, and then they didn't pay me anymore, so I stopped.
And you left.
And that was that. They said, we do not want to pay you for this anymore. I said, okay. I will take my skills and my services elsewhere. Thank you very much. And I grabbed my jacket and I left. It's not how it went, but it's fine. Today's a big day, and I know we kind of harped on it last week, but I want to get our final thoughts out, because I think what you're going to get on this podcast is going to be a little more authentic than maybe what you get on the radio show. Because there's literally no chance of her finding this, right?
Right.
This is
it's just us girls
chatting over here. Jess is going to meet Garage Boy's mom for the first time today. And it's a big deal because we all thought Garage Boy was gay.
What? Who said that?
That's what they said.
Who said that? You're so dumb.
No.
You're just out here saying bullshit today.
I mean, but think about this. I mean, it is a big deal, though, because if you listen back to the old episodes of our other podcast, and it all started with literally a blowjob in a garage.
Yeah, so why would you say he's gay?
No, I'm totally kidding. Think about that. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And now here you are.
Meeting his mother.
Meeting his mom.
On that foundation. How did we get here?
She has no idea the story?
No.
You don't think there's any way she knows that story?
No. Never. No way.
You don't think she's found this stuff?
That's not her. That's not like her wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? At all whatsoever.
Does she have social media?
Maybe Facebook, if that, but not even though. But
you're on your best behavior over there.
Oh yeah, and I've been I barely started using Facebook yesterday.
Yeah.
Just because I have to.
Yeah.
It's not really my platform.
So, what's going through your head right now? Honestly, I'm just I am nervous. I'm nervous because it's a very I think. Once I found out that he's never introduced a girl to his mom before, that kind of made it more of a thing for me. Yeah.
Just because now it's because when he's uncomfortable, he tends to shut down and kind of blend into the background. And that, after talking to him last night about it, and I don't know, do you want to play our conversation?
I can.
Maybe?
So, I'm going to stop. If you're watching YouTube, this is an exclusive YouTube because I had to stop the podcast. I need to save this and play it off of the other system.
Okay.
So tell YouTube a secret that we'll never tell the podcast people. Any secret you want.
Any secret?
This will never end up on the Uncensored podcast because we're not actually recording right now. Make it good.
What's a secret that you guys can know?
Make it a good one.
I can't. All the secrets I have aren't mine.
That's the worst, isn't it?
I have good secrets, but they're not my secrets. So.
I'll tell you a secret about
what?
Priestley.
No,
I'm kidding.
I don't want to know a secret from Priestley.
I don't have any secrets. I'm just kidding. I have so many secrets.
I know.
Okay. Let's get back into this. We just stopped the podcast. I had to transfer the file that we're about to play right now. Explain to us what this is, Jess.
So last night I was talking to Garage Boy just to kind of get a feel of how he is feeling for today, of his mom coming into town and meeting me for the first time and having to introduce a girl to her for the first time.
Here it goes.
How are you feeling about introducing a girl to your mom for the first time?
It's a little nerve-wracking because I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what to expect. I don't think she knows what to expect. You don't know what to expect.
How do you think our personalities are going to kind of mesh together? Describe her personality to me.
She's definitely more conservative, traditional Filipina.
I guess that's what makes me nervous because I know that that's something that she wanted for you, And of course, that comes from conversations from you growing up. But for me, how do you think she's going to react to me?
I mean, I feel like she's going to like you.
What if she doesn't? Would she tell you? Would she tell you during the trip? Or do you think, and just hypothetically speaking, let's say she doesn't like me. Do you think that she would tell you when you guys are alone? Or do you think she would call you after the trip and be like, I don't know how I feel about her?
I don't think she would tell me, honestly.
Ever?
No, because my dad was the same way.
What do you mean?
When it came to a previous relationship.
What do you mean? So when you were dating your ex-girlfriend, he never gave you any feedback about her?
It was very short answered, how I would be I mean, she's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is obviously that's an edited version of the conversation because he takes about a minute and a half pauses when he's speaking. So the reason why it gave me anxiety because I had to pull out of him what are you expecting? What do you want to do?
Right.
What do you want to do when she's here? And so if we haven't been talking about obviously everything isn't planned to the time, but at first a couple of days ago he's just I don't know, we'll figure it out. And I'm
so there's no plan.
Well, no, now we have a plan because I was
Yeah.
we're not doing that. Let's think of some things. What are let's have some ideas,
Right.
and then that way we can pick the day of and where you want to go and where you want to take her and what's going on because I just have this because obviously I kind of had this feeling of for him to not think about that, her get here and him kind of be overwhelmed,
Right.
and then him almost just kind of what do you want to do kind of thing, and I don't want to do that,
So you're because I know Garage Boy. We've hung out probably 10 times. I don't see him as he's not the leader of the pack. Fair to say?
Right, exactly. But in this situation, he has to.
He has to be.
So when
because he's the person in between. Because what you say and what you do will forever be held against you, good or bad. You know that, right?
Yes.
Like you are going to be under the microscope more today and this week, more so than you ever will be in the rest of your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Maybe when you have kids again, like for that first couple of times.
Obviously, they're like, "What's she doing? What she think she doing with a kid? Why she think she know how to hold a baby like that? What the hell?"
God, Jess with a child. I just pictured it. Was so weird.
Could you imagine? I'd be like,
So
"This is my
strange.
baby."
This is my baby, y'all.
Yeah, I was like, "What's up?" I'd be like, "Say hi to TikTok."
It's on TikTok. Yeah, I was gonna say the first thing I was gonna say. It's on TikTok right now.
No, but that's the thing, because that made me nervous. And so last night when I was like, well, how do you think she's going to react to me? Like, what do what are you expecting? And he's like, I don't know what to expect. And I'm like, I just don't want you.
You need him to be more confident about it, right?
Yeah. And I think I just don't want you to be like silent, or I think another thing too, and it's just something I have to work on. Obviously, everyone has different personalities and react to things differently. And my family is super loud and like, this is what I want to do. This is what I like. You know when they're happy, you know when they're mad, you know when they're angry. It's hard to figure that out with him, and his family is similar to that. So I think for her, she may be like quiet, and that doesn't necessarily mean she's like unsatisfied, but obviously how I feel, you know what I mean? And I think
just don't know.
Exactly. And I think when someone stays in your home for a long period of time and just making sure that they're comfortable and making sure that she's happy and wants to be there. And it means a lot to me that she's going to come to our home and see like the life that we've created together, because he's never been on his own like that,
Right.
And so that's the biggest thing. I just want her to know that like the person that her son decided to move across the country with is like okay. And so that's my biggest like pressure on myself to show her that, like, because I mean, and I've said this before, but I can't even imagine what that's like.
Well, sure.
Of like
we can't comprehend it. We don't have kids.
Because the situation is so bizarre where, yes, I mean, he only sees her once a year. He hasn't seen her since 2019. The situation has got pushed back because of COVID.
Right.
And so our entire relationship has been through a looking glass. And then also, like, I'm on the radio. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? So I just don't.
And especially if like, you don't think she's ever seen your Instagram page before?
Because she's not into that world. So, like, what does she think of me and that perception of me?
It's hard to tell.
I
never got along. I did not get along with my mother-in-law, but I didn't ever get along. You know what I mean? And I hate that. I hated that, like, her stepmom, we got along fine.
Yeah.
Her mom, though, to be fair, like, her and her own mom didn't get along well, which was always kind of uncomfortable, right? Because it'd be like three of us.
And that adds extra pressure, because obviously if they're not cool, then you're hella not cool with her either.
Right. So we always had that weird, like, separation, which I hated. Well, in your mind now, two questions. Number one, would it be rude? It's too late now, I know. But, like, could we not have gotten her a hotel?
No, well, that's...
Is that, like...
that's very different, because that's, like, a different... Like, that's absolutely not. Like, she's staying with us, and I wouldn't... Like,
why?
Because that's just how...
Is that like a Mexican thing of like, you're coming to my, like, you're
like either, if you want to call it a Mexican or Filipino,
because white people, we're like, bye.
That's what I mean.
Bye.
I don't understand. I don't know, but like if it's a Mexican or Filipino thing, but like absolutely not.
That would be out of the question.
We would have if 10 of our friends were coming to visit, all 10 of their asses are staying at our house.
Crazy to
That's
me.
just how it is.
And y'all will be wildly uncomfortable before you'll go stay in a hotel. Yeah. Like, you'll sleep on a floor somewhere before you...
Yeah, like, no, save that money let's go to the outlets and spend the money there. You don't got to spend money on a hotel.
Why?
Spend the money on food on your vacation. You're not going to spend money staying in a room when you can stay in my home and I can take care of you.
That's the first thing I thought of,
So this whole week, I've just been trying to prepare, like, what kind of... like, does she drink coffee? What does she like? Like, let me have snacks in there when we're at work. Like, any type of, and last night, I'm, like... cleaning the house all crazy, and it's just, I don't know.
It's never been that clean, huh? Never will be that clean again.
Well, no, I mean, no, my house is usually clean, but it's only that clean if, like, she's coming or my parents are coming.
Yeah.
But also, too, I've never had experience with a family member that doesn't understand what we do or that isn't, like, super supportive. Like, all my family... like is, you know, they're like super, like they're all the personalities, big personalities could not be more obsessed with what we do, like love it and thinks it's like super fun or whatever. I haven't interacted with someone that like doesn't get it and may think it's like weird.
So you don't know how she feels about what you do though. You have no, like but she could love it. She could love what you know what I mean?
Right?
Like she could really be impressed.
Or she could think it's dumb.
I mean, to be in a top 25 market and as a co-host of a morning show and, you know, at age 27, 28 is pretty damn impressive.
I'm just thinking of a mother that wanted a traditional Filipino girl for his son. Like, what does she think of my occupation to her?
Do you think that because, and I don't really know a lot about the Filipino culture, but I know enough about the Mexican culture, is that like there's always like this like the man, it's like the man of the house, right? Like the in this situation,
I'm very career driven. Like I think that
you moved across the country for
a
your
job.
career. You did,
yes,
not him.
Yes,
you. Do you think in her mind, if we just had to go by culturally generic thoughts here, do you think that she saw that as like you're moving for the woman's career?
Well, I think. I think what I hate is I don't even know because I don't even know her yet. I think that's why I have so much anxiety because, of course, all of these thoughts are coming into him, all of these assumptions because I don't have a grasp of her personality.
Right.
So I think that's where my fear is at. And I know it'll all like be okay because once I get a feel for her, if she is that way, okay, that's fine. If she's not, obviously this is all for nothing. But I think because it's so unknown, that's where my anxiety sets in because I don't know what she thinks. Like, also, if it is like, you know, the traditional mindset, does she think I'm supposed to be like having babies right now? Like, is she mad that I'm so career driven and not in that
staying back in California,
not in that zone yet? You know what I mean? But I don't know that, and I think I just have to wait until I meet her to feel that. I think that's why I have all this. Like, I just want her to like be happy with the person that her son is deciding to share his time with.
There's literally no way to know. I mean, she could honestly imagine she's back in Alaska right now and she's like, oh my God, this girl that my son is with, radio superstar, driven, you know, just great female, powerful. You know what I mean? Like she could be saying all these things, and we're sitting over here spinning our wheels. You know, but culturally, I understand why you have. Let me tell you something. Being white is so easy.
Bitch, tell me something I don't know.
Being white is so easy sometimes. And listen, I've got close friends in every culture, black, white, Indian, Mexican, Filipino. Well, I would say you're probably my closest Filipino friend. If you even want to consider yourself Filipino, but like you're the closest. Or are you Mexican?
I'm both.
So you would say that you traditionally
every time somebody asks me what I am, I say I'm Mexican, Filipino, and Native American.
Do you think you follow closer to Mexican traditions or Filipino traditions, or are they similar enough to be one and the same?
I think they're similar because my family isn't super, super, super traditional. We just pull things from everything. Like my Nana has certain things that we do. My Apu has certain things that we do.
Okay, so you just go back and forth. It's just whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's why I'm saying, like of all the, I hear all these things, and I'm like, damn, that's hard. That's a lot to live up to. White people, we just kind of do our thing. Families don't really expect much out of us. Like, you know, they really don't.
Yeah,
they really don't. They're just like, hey, go do your best out there. You know, go get him, Tiger.
I mean, he has shared with me that when he gets married and has kids, his mom plans on moving in with him and his wife. I'm saying like that's not gonna be me. With him and his wife to move in with him and help take care of the kids. That's the kind of shit. That's the kind of shit that's going on in my life right now. Cause I'm also, when I meet her, I'm like, this could potentially be, you know, the woman I have to take care of. Cause if that's
we throw our families in a
if that's the case, that's what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, this is her only son. I'm not gonna have her live by herself in Alaska. Like, of course she's gonna live with me. So that's why I'm like, here we fucking go.
My mom, just in complete relevance to this conversation.
She would love nothing more.
Well, she told me last night, she was like, hey, sweetie, I need to let you know that my mom's in town right now. She was like, I pay $230 a month for insurance so that when I get older, I can have a facility just for myself. I'm like, that's some white people stuff right there, Mom.
That's not okay.
$230 a month. I'm like,
that's
all right,
not okay.
well, good seeing you, Mom. It's different. It's different.
Y'all doing her dirty.
Well, how do you feel about that?
That's what I'm saying.
How does that make you feel though?
Well,
because you're not too terribly far away from having kids.
That's why I'm just like,
worst case scenario, 5 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
I would say closer to 3 to 2, probably, if I had to assume. It's close. Why does your face look crazy? Like you just realized that.
Fuck. What?
So yeah, I mean, because think about it. I mean, you guys, you're not too terribly far from getting engaged, and then like you're not gonna wait too much longer after getting. You're within half a decade of having that. So you're within just before you know it. It just her whole life is like flashing before her eyes. I mean, because my prediction, I like Garage Boy a lot, and I think you guys are great together. I think he needs somebody like you, and I think you need somebody like him. I think it's a really good combination of people. I think he's a genuinely solid dude.
Yeah.
I like Garage Boy a lot, so I'm excited about it. So I think that I do think you guys will get engaged. I think it's going to happen sooner than you think it is. If I can predict, it's going to happen over the holidays, because before we were waiting for the mom to meet you, and now that's out of the way. It's go time, baby. Go time.
Nah,
okay, my prediction.
Whatever.
Let's go with it. Okay, that means you'll probably get on my timeline. You're going to be married within a year-ish, maybe year and a half.
Maybe.
So then now you're 30-ish, 31. Okay, I would say you probably have kids within the first 2 years after that. So you're within 5 years of this all happening. So how do you feel about that? Like, was that even a question, or? Like,
that was something he shared with me.
That like this is what's gonna happen. Is like when we have babies, my mom's gonna move in. Or was it like, hey babe, like I just don't know if that's like a traditional thing that like would happen in a Filipino household where it's just like that's just the expectation no matter what.
I don't know if that's the expectation of no matter what. Like I think it is like a traditional thing for like your elders to move in with you, especially if they're on their own. You know, it's not like she has a partner. You know, like my Apu lives very close to my parents. Right. Like it's like you could walk to her house. But it wasn't like he was mean or demanding about it. It's not like he was like, this is what's going to happen. Like, it was something that he shared so casually. And I was like, and we were drinking too. I was like, wait, what'd you just say?
How was it worded?
My mom wants to move in with me when I have kids.
Oh, so she's the one that's basically like, hey, this is what like, mom wants this.
Exactly. That's what he said. Like, that's what, you know what I mean?
That's a lot.
But you know, I don't see why that wouldn't happen. Like, because it's like, because she's on her own, and I know they have family in Alaska, but like, I wouldn't want one of my parents, if they're by themselves, like that far away from me, you know? And I think for her, it's like, that is her only son. And because she's had to spend so much time away from him, that if that's what she wants to do, like, I respect that. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why, too, I'm, like, meeting her for the first time. And, of course, that's what he says. And if that's, like, the real situation, then, like, you know, I'm about to meet my next roommate.
Wow. Just when you thought you got done with roommates.
I was like, fuck. I used to share rooms. Now I'm about to share a house. I used to have to sleep on the couch, man.
Enjoy this time.
Yeah.
God damn.
But
That's a lot, man.
But I respect that. And honestly, like, for him to say that too and like want to do that, like, that makes me love him even more. Like, he wants to make sure his mom's okay. You know what I mean?
Remember this day, y'all.
No, I know.
October the 6th, when Jess was so happy this is the plan.
I didn't say this shit was gonna be easy. All right? I'm just saying, this is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do.
I have a pit in my stomach for you right now. Not like in a bad way, but like, you're right. There's just a lot.
There's just a lot going on.
A lot going on with like, if it's a package deal.
You know?
It's a package deal. So I would say today, more important than anything you've had in the past. Honest to God.
Yeah.
I mean, because you guys just kind of fell into one another. Hello. Fell into one another. Hello.
Okay. There's a lot I can say. We'll check it out.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously we'll come back and we'll next week and we'll talk about everything.
I'll let you know when she's moving in.
Or not. What's worst case scenario in your mind? What's the absolute worst thing that could happen over the next 7 days?
And she's like, why? Like, I think the worst thing is for her to be disappointed that he moved here. That would be like my worst feeling, you know?
Yeah, she's like, what?
She's like, why here?
Why here?
She's like, huh?
My son lived.
What if she's like, I hate Old Bay?
Yeah.
She's like, what if she's like, fuck Old Bay? I'll be like, don't you dare! I'll get all crazy. I'll get all crazy. Don't you dare disrespect Maryland like that.
Who do you ride harder for, Maryland or?
Well, it's different. But I ride hard for Maryland. You know I do. You know I do. I ride hard.
That's not even just bullshit, by the way.
No, I ride hard for Maryland.
Jess has fallen in love with this state so hard that it's like at first I thought it was phony. Like we just moved here, so we have to like rep it super hard. But you genuinely have such a
I have a connection.
A connection with this place. It's funny. It's very funny to me. Hi to all of our YouTube friends. Sorry, we focused. Steph's on here.
Who?
Which Steph?
Oh my god!
I don't know if she still is or not, but
she was.
Steph we used to work with over in California.
That's my best friend.
She's hopping on here. Mike gave a recommendation of
Mike who?
Mike I says, why don't you secretly get married like Steph?
No.
Why don't you just like go off and like just get it all?
My mom
would
never forgive me.
Terrible. Darren says that's a whole new level of anxiety on this now, right? When you realize what all goes into these guys meeting. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. So anyway, if you want to check out the YouTube show, don't forget you can always get that by going to kramerandjess.com. Yeah. Pause for commercial break. How about that? Would you ever consider being in an open relationship?
No.
You know, you, Garage Boy.
Not my cup of tea.
And me.
Kramer only wants to fuck Garage Boy. That's why he said he's gay earlier. He wants him to be
I'm
gay
like, he's
for
gay,
him.
right?
He's like, he's not.
Tell me he's gay.
Please for me.
Garage Boy's cute.
No, he is hella fine.
I would consider it with Garage Boy if I had to. Like if you were like, you have to.
I was like,
it wouldn't be the worst option
like,
for sure.
If I was like, you have to or we'll die. You're like, wait, what time? I'm ready.
Yeah, like whatever. I just want to.
You're like on spot, on site right now. On site right now.
On StreamYard right now on YouTube, baby. Let's do it. Would you ever consider? And I want to have like kind of a serious talk about this.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider? Because this is, and we're gonna be careful with this conversation. No, we're not. I kind of careful.
Yeah.
Open relationships are interesting, right?
They are.
And there's no real like everyone's doing it a little different.
No, it is so specific to whatever that situation is with those people, with what they want, and it works for a lot of people.
Does it?
It does. Like,
do you know anybody like personally that like has done it and they have had success from it?
One situation didn't work out, but I don't think it's because of the open relationship. I think it was one of the people just sucked. But I'm also being biased because that's my friend.
Yeah.
But at least while things were good because they didn't separate because of the open relationship. They separated because of the two of them. Mm-hmm. But while they were in the open relationship, it was successful. And like, because they were doing things together with other people. And that was not the reason why they split up.
It's weird. We are both not monogamous together, and we're doing the same thing. It's not like one goes off and does one goes off and does another. They're literally bringing a third into their...
No, one would go off and do one, the other would go off and do one, and then both of them would do one together.
It's a lot of doing.
It's a lot of doing.
It's a lot of doing over there.
It's a lot of...
Would you ever consider it?
It's a lot of fucking...
If a Garage Boy came to you and was like, listen...
He's like, can we add an extra peen to this vagine? Can we add an extra peen to this vagine?
I like what you got going there, but you know what might look good?
Put extra one. Extra.
Let's do one more.
Park an extra car in that garage.
You got two garages?
You got two garages?
It's
Park in the front, park in the back. No, dude. Not I. Not this garage. It's one parking spot only.
Single
spot. One story. This ain't no duplex. What the fuck? This ain't no fucking townhouse. I'm a storage unit. One.
Dead. I'm dead. I'm literally dead right now.
And I say that, and because I respect that shit. I really do.
You respect open relationships?
I respect it for the people that want to do it and it works for them.
I'm gonna be 100% honest.
But not
with
me.
you.
I can't. I can't.
Now, my ex and I have shared that we didn't have a very good sex life from day one. It was never a good sex life. And I'm not just saying that post-divorce. I just remember thinking
it's not it.
Damn, this sucks.
Yeah.
Probably the worst I ever had.
And it's not supposed to be like that.
And this is when we were the most into each other,
and
right?
that's unhealthy.
So a couple of years in, I just kept thinking damn, you're telling me that I'm never going to get a chance to fuck anybody ever again? That's it. The rest of my life, I'm 26 years old or whatever, 27 years old at this point, 28, maybe I'm late 20. I'm probably your age at the very latest. And I'm thinking damn, I'm never going to sleep with anybody else ever again.
You guys got married at my age?
I was 26. She was, I was 25 or 6, and she was about a year and a half older than me.
Okay.
I forget how old I was. But I was thinking, damn, I'm never going to sleep with anybody else ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And that idea went through my head a lot.
Yeah.
When I was married. Because, to be fair, I never really slept with a lot of people.
And you were young.
Yeah. And so I was I always kind of felt bummed out by that.
Yeah.
And so.
Because it wasn't good either. So
no, it wasn't good. And that's what I'm saying, right? And then it was literally non-existent.
And when I say it wasn't good, I'm not just talking about the sex itself. I feel like when you guys weren't even making love, which is really, really sad.
We were making nothing going on.
Yeah.
There was no garages. There were no. It was. There may have been.
She was letting you park on the driveway. But...
yeah. She park on the curb. Okay, she's you can't park in the driveway or the garage. You ain't going nowhere near. No holes.
Nope. You can park outside, bitch. Stay outside. You can't. This is window. It's a window shopping.
Uber over. Why just Uber over?
It's a window shopping.
Darren says he's crying right now. That was funny. Okay, so the idea of open marriages has obviously come into the forefront recently.
Now,
because of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, I fault us when this story came up last week that we didn't mention Baltimore's own Jada Pinkett Smith, but it's fine.
Oh, I didn't feel like we needed to because they know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
But we could have done better.
Yeah, it's obviously if you know she's here, she's from here. If you know she's from here.
But basically she did stuff.
So their situation was obviously probably a year ago when everything came out about her quote unquote entanglement.
Sorry, really quick. Mike says park in tandem. Okay, we're done. All right, back to being serious. Okay.
So she was in entanglement with August Alsina, I believe that was his last name. He's a rapper. He basically revealed that they were in a relationship while she was married. The thing is yes, that's true, but what we did not find out until recently in the most recent issue of GQ is Will Smith has also had entanglements. So it's not even about entanglements. This was their situation for their marriage.
Right.
She grew up in a family where monogamy was not the standard, and her family, they had open relationships. So for her, when they got married, since she grew up that way, she's wait, why does it only have to be me and you? However, on the opposite of that, Will Smith always grew up with one husband, one wife. This is what it is. And as the progression of their marriage, something that he mentioned in the article was marriage cannot be a prison. And so we went from monogamy and evolved. He said evolved from that to where basically they are married, but would have, their own situations on the side.
Right. And that struck a chord with me because I was I just kept having that feeling of wow, this, you're telling me because you get married and you choose to spend your life with one partner means that you implied that you're never going to sleep with anybody ever again. And so I want to tell you a story that I didn't tell you before. And this actually did, in reality happened a couple of months ago. And it's something I've never thought about from the opposite end, because you always hear about
if you're the side.
Is what if you are
the side
person that comes into a marriage?
My friend has been that before.
And what happens with that? So this is a story that happened, I don't know, a couple of months ago now. I just never really talked about it because I don't know. There was a listener that reached out to me, and it was on Instagram, and seemed pretty normal,
harmless,
just
casual,
casual,
Yeah, the usual.
commenting back on posts and just show stuff and whatever else, right?
Yeah.
And then it started to get like a little more flirty, and then from the flirtiness, it then turned into slight proposition, just like we should hang out, or I don't honestly. It's been so long, I don't remember how exactly, but it progressed into us meeting up on a romantic
Obviously, just hanging out.
but like not just friends.
No, obby.
But like with a romantic idea behind it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird, because I know that you posted pictures not too long ago with a male figure. Assuming it's their father,
like she's married,
possible husband, right? And I was like, that doesn't seem right to me. So I go back and I check, and yeah, there's definitely like pictures not too long before posted.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, if it's just a dad, that ain't true. Like, that's not, you don't post, like, if you're separated,
no, it was
divorced,
it was obvious that they were like together.
They were still together, right? So I was literally like, hey,
that's
like,
not okay.
I was like, aren't you married? Because like, it looks like you're married.
Your initial reaction was like, this is bad.
Well, I just didn't, my brain wasn't even going romantically, because
what you've seen.
I thought she was married, right?
Yeah.
So the conversation then turned into, well, him and I recently have an agreement that we can both kind of do whatever we want. You know what I mean?
And that happens sometimes too later in relationships. When my friend was the side, at this point, the marriage that he was like, whatever, having fun with, they had been married for like 20 plus years.
Right.
So like sometimes that the progression happens later on in life.
Right. And like, it felt, to me at first, honestly, it felt gross. Like, ugh. Like, what? How could you ever do that?
Because it's not what you're used to.
It's just, to me, I mean, I grew up in the South. My family, literally, my parents, as of next month, have been married for 50 years. 50 years. A long time. I don't know if there's been any entanglements in between. I don't ask questions, Jess. I just let them do it.
Yeah, not your business. Not your business.
What if they're swingers?
Not your business.
What if Nancy Yancey was a swinger?
Not your business.
I would die. I'd rip down Certified Mama's Boy so fast.
You're fuck you.
That whole brand would be gone.
You're so lame.
No, like,
what, she still can't be Nancy Yancey and a swinger?
No.
Fuck you. Why not?
No.
Why not? Just because your mom, she had stopped being sexual?
Imagine if you found out when your parents were a swinger.
Honestly,
how would you feel about that?
If I found out that my parents were swingers, I would just be like, honestly, do you? I just never want to see it. Like, live your fucking life.
You'd be okay with it?
Because Mike and Laura are not just mom and dad. They are also Mike and Laura, and you have to separate that shit.
I don't like to think about that, though. I don't like to think about my parents anything other than being my friggin' parents. Like, I don't like to think about Nancy doing anything outside of being a mom. So, okay, so she didn't, again, that was kind of like where it ended. I said something like, well, that sounds pretty messy. Like, I don't think that's something I really want to get involved with.
Complicated.
It's just messy. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, how would that go?
Yeah, now you're curious.
I'm just more thinking about, like, because here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. And the opportunity's not even there anymore, to be completely honest with you. It's not even there.
Yeah.
But it was there at one point, and I shunned it real fast, thinking this is not what people should do.
Yeah, because you're like, oh no.
But like, think about it. For where I'm at in my life right now, looking for something casual, nothing becomes more casual than like sleeping with a married person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think that would have an extremely high chance of getting messy as fuck.
Well, then you end up like August, who genuinely wanted Jada for himself.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's where it can get tricky, because she wasn't my friend personally, but I met her, and when I met her, she was like literally in the middle of this mess where she was hooking up with the husband, and she was also hooking up with the wife, and she ended up falling separately.
Did they know? Okay, so
she was like, and then she started falling in love with the husband. And but the thing is, from day one, they were like, we're this and you're over here. You can join the party, but you're never going to be number one. And so now here she is all broken.
Who'd she fall for? The husband?
The husband.
Okay, so she like started getting feelings.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what happened to August. That's why August had like a mental breakdown and told everybody what happened was because he fell in love with Jada. And Jada's like, it's Will Smith, bitch.
Yeah. Good luck. August who? I don't even heard that name before.
But that's the thing. So that's why it's like but that doesn't go to say that those things aren't successful and they aren't healthy and they do work out. But
are they though?
Well, no, for some.
Because who's that third person? Who is that person?
The third person who genuinely doesn't want to be number one because they still want to stay casual. If you're like to the core, you don't mind because you're not trying to have strings attached. That's where it works. When you're cool with being the fun one and you're cool with being the side, but when you're not, that's when it gets messy.
Do you think I could be the third?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because you like to be number one.
But I don't want to be in a relationship right now.
Yeah, but you still want to be number one no matter what.
Yeah.
That's why it would drive you crazy. That's why like there's certain people where it can't. Like for me, I have never ever like even being someone's girlfriend. Like I've been wanting to be someone's wife since I was 5. I ain't trying to bullshit. Like I've never ever wanted like. Even dating around was annoying to me. I hated it. I hated talking to multiple people at the same time. But that's me. I've always been that way. But then I have a friend that like wants that variety and likes having that variety.
Am I that friend? Are you talking about me?
No.
I've never, honestly, and you're right, because I've never done anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I still like, even if I'm like just casual, I still want to be
number
the only.
one.
I still want to be the only.
And you wouldn't. You would have to take the back seat.
Yeah. I don't know. Now, the more I think about it, I'm not like, because it just took me a second. I've never been propositioned like that before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know it'd be the worst thing in the world.
I mean, you could always try it, and then if it sucks, then you never do it again. Like, you know.
Have you ever thought about that? That like the most likely Garage Boy is the last person you'll ever sleep with.
Good. I don't want anyone else touching me.
No more peens.
No.
Let's go back to the garage.
I'm a one penis girl. That's all I've ever wanted. You hear that?
What is that noise?
Probably working. No, it's in here.
What
the
is
wind.
What wind?
There's wind in here.
Oh, our air conditioning system just went crazy in here. I don't know what happened. Well. All right.
That's a sign.
Can you hear that? That's the winds of change, Jessica. That's the winds of change.
That's a sign.
Telling us that...
Don't do it, Kramer.
It's time to...
You wouldn't survive it.
Bang married people, Jessica.
You wouldn't survive it, friend. That's not you.
Darren says, to me, it's exactly why, in the long run, open relationships never work. Inevitably, one person involved ends up wanting more than the others do. But I don't want more.
Yeah, but you don't even want to share attention with somebody's kids. You know?
True.
You've said that before. So now imagine having to share that attention with someone else that's also fucking the person that you also want to have sex with. Do you think you can handle that?
Probably not. But unless...
Okay, thanks for coming to the show. No, okay.
End of period on that sentence. I don't know, though, because...
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, do it just to cure the curiosity. Yeah. Obviously, I think you should, but like, just be prepared. Maybe it's something you have to go through.
I'm gonna do it purely for ratings. No, we can never talk about that on the radio. Can you imagine? They'd die. They would die. I'm like, so I banged a marriage chick this weekend. All right, we're done here. Obviously. Thank you for listening so much. For everybody that's hopped on our YouTube show and been a part of it, thank you so much. You can go find that at Kramer and Jess if you ever want to be a part of the show live. Jess, how do we find you?
At Jess Do It, JESSDU, ITT on IG, and my Lowkey podcast.
I am that guy Kramer. You can find me on the Instagram, and you can find my podcast called Certified Mama's Boy. Unless my mom was a swinger, that's canceled by now.
You're so whack. I have a side podcast called The One Peen Girl.
One girl, one peen.
One girl, one
That's
peen.
going to be on the wedding invitation.
One peen is good for me.
Lord have mercy. I can't. Queen Pam says, enjoy Gerald's mom, Jess. It's going to be fine.
Thanks, Queen Pam.
We'll see you next week. All right, everybody.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.